All right, all right. Welcome to another exciting episode of The Real Deal. I'm your host, as always, Courtney Harden. We got a very exciting show. It is Eagles and Giants week. So I got a great guest. But before we get into it, let's get it. My intro. Let's go. All right. Again, welcome to episode 108 of The Real Deal. Happy Saturday, December 10th. Hope everyone's enjoying the weekend. Cold out here in the East Coast, as always. But that's how it is. It's almost winter. It's Christmas. So you know what time it is. So it's a wintertime cold. Hope everyone's enjoying the holiday, getting to the holiday spirit, shopping, all those things. So again, I hope everyone's enjoying it. I'm your host, as always, Courtney Harden. This is a special weekend. It is Giants and Eagles weekend. So, but before we get into that, you can follow the show on all podcast platforms, whether it's Spotify, Google Play. We're on Roku, BS3 TV. Download the app, BS3 TV, on Roku, and you can get all of our shows, the BS3 networks, bs3network.com, bs3tvlive.com. We're on Apple, Spreaker. We're everywhere. So, but you can follow the show at Get the Real Deal on Twitter. Follow me on all social media platforms. Just if you download the Real Deal with Courtney Harden, you can find it. You can find it there. So, as my man Dominic McNabb used to say, Google me. So, but you Google Courtney Harden, you can find the Real Deal Courtney Harden. So again, I always appreciate the support, appreciate all the guests I have. But today, like I said, New York Giants are playing my squad, the Philadelphia Eagles. So I had to bring in an expert, a Giants super fan, one of my favorite people, one of my good friends in the podcast game, not even just in podcast game. We do fantasy football together. We've been in a couple of leagues together, and she's like family. So, but she's like, so she's been on the show many times. I'm gonna give you a resume, then I'm gonna bring her in. She's let me go through. Host of the 33 podcast. Shout out to the 33 Podcast Network as well. JSN Sporting News. New York Giants Rush. And like I said, for podcast bookings, you got to get her quickly and early in the week so you can book her because she's all over the place, does fancy football, just a little bit of everything. So welcome to the show, my girl, Nikki Gist. What's going on?
Hi, Courtney. Yay.
Yes,
I thought I was everywhere, but you are. Shows all over the place.
Yes, we're both doing our thing in this
Yeah.
podcast, but you've been like everywhere, and I'm glad to, like I said, call you a good friend and
Yes.
like family. And like I said, every time I get the call, I give you the call, and you're like, yes,
Yeah.
what day it is, what time, we can work it out. So thank you for coming on the show. Really appreciate it always.
Oh, of course. I told everybody in my Instagram story, your show is one of my favorites to do because you're like family. So, and like, what a perfect week, right? I mean, we do go at it in fantasy football and
Yeah.
just in good fun, but now our teams are going at it. So, I will always try to find time to do your show.
No doubt. I really appreciate that. And like I said, I know you're busy. I just read your resume of things you got. Like I said,
Yeah.
we got to book you early. Got to book you like on Sunday, right after
Yes.
the games,
Yes.
and then get you on. But we got a couple of good shout outs. And also we're on YouTube and YouTube, Facebook Live, and everything. So shout out says good morning. Thank you, April Showers, for tuning in on YouTube. Believe this is Nathan Ramasantra for the NR Hour. Thank you. He said, keep up the great work. He said, Nikki is the best.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, fire emojis and everything. Yes,
All
yes.
right. Yeah.
So, but how have you been over these? And I think we talk all the time, but I think we just had a show maybe a few months ago too. How's everything going?
Yeah, good. Going good. Super busy, not just in podcast. I know people think I do podcasting for a living, but
Right.
I do work.
Yes,
Believe it or not.
gotta
I
pay the
do
bills,
work.
right?
Yeah, you got to pay the bills somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, everything is good. Super busy, but good busy, right? Like lots of opportunities coming, and which is all good things.
Yeah.
Sometimes overwhelming, as you know, especially when you do this. But yeah, everything is good, and just like, taking everything one day at a time,
Yeah,
do the
yeah.
best I can every single day. And that's all I can do. I try not to put too much pressure on myself. I just try to do the best I can. So, but
Yeah.
how's everything on your end?
Everything's good. And you said
Good.
busy, just working. Like you said, yes, we have to work. I mean, we're trying to make this our career, as it is, but we do work, working and with the podcast, booking guests and getting the podcast rolling and going into 2023, try to make it just bigger and better each and every year. But
Yeah.
just blessed to have good support system, and again having you in the circle of guests and family and friends and things like that. So it's wonderful. Can't complain. It's the holiday season, so
Yeah, you can't complain unless you're Christmas shopping around, in this New Jersey area, New York, Philly
yeah.
area. Unless you're shopping on the East Coast, you would not think it was, happy holiday season.
Yeah, right. That's what
Cranky.
you say. Yes. That's where you got Amazon and,
Yeah,
and and Target and all
yeah.
those places where you could just be like, okay, I'm gonna get these things from this place. So online is our friend during the holidays.
Oh, yeah. It's
Yes,
it's I think that, Amazon works for Santa Claus because
yes.
it's
I
here. Amazon's here every day.
Yeah, it was, yeah, always ordering. So, shout out to David Wilkes, who's part of the BS3 family. Thanks for tuning in. Nathan, how about them Cowboys? Yeah,
Oh
okay.
God. All right. Neither one of us want to hear this,
No, we
Nathan.
don't want to hear that. He said Giants better beat the Eagles. Oh yeah, okay. I'm sure he's looking forward to that. So
Yeah.
but yeah, he's a big Cowboys fan. But yes, let's get into all the things you got going on. Talk about the 33 podcast. For everyone that don't know, if you don't know, follow Nikki as well on all these platforms and the things she's got. 33 podcast, JSN Sporting News, New York Giants Rush, fantasy football, the Giant guys, talk about all those
Yeah.
things.
My gosh, I know it's a lot. It's funny when I do like a guest spot and I hear people read back everything and I'm like, wow, you sound like a psychopath doing all this stuff. Like, what is
Right?
wrong with you? Yeah, of course, my home always third and three podcast. On Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock. That's where it all started. About 3 years ago almost. So March
Yeah,
will be 3 years. So I can't believe how far we have all come, in our time doing this. Monday nights is my brand new show. It is Rush Hour, which is a very cool show. We're on for like about an hour, a little bit less. And this for all NFL fans. I send the StreamYard link out and you just kind of come in and me and Spartan Mike just kind of, we chop it up with the fans. And you don't have to be a Giants fan, any fan. You can come in, vent, celebrate. We get
yeah.
into a little fantasy. We look ahead at the betting lines for the next week.
Mm.
Giants Guys is Tuesday at 8 o'clock, which is a Giants centric show. And we really dive deep into it. We kind of recap the week, game ball, ranting and raving, look ahead.
Right.
And Sundays, 11:30, channel side bets. So that's all your daily fantasy and your betting. So it's fun. And of course, Jersey Sporting News. I mostly do Giants coverage for them. So that's fun. But I do a lot of behind the scenes stuff as well.
Yeah, no doubt. Yes, all the things, and as you said, you have the platform, and you take advantage of it. You take
Yeah.
advantage of the opportunities you have, and you want to, like I said, you want to stay busy, stay connected, and have your name out there. And you're like that almost every single day, on top of the construction job you have.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
living
On
in
top of
construction.
my real job, but I own a marketing company called Hello
Marketing.
Green,
Yeah.
and it's marketing for the green industry and the construction industry. So
Mhm.
as Courtney knows, I travel a lot. I'm going to a lot of events, kind of
Yeah.
go all over the place. So I'm literally everywhere in every facet of my life, and it's exhausting. You ever just have those days where it's funny? Last night I did a guest spot, which was great and go and have dinner and come back and it's like the wall of exhaustion hits you from the whole week
Mhm.
and I was
Oh
just
yeah.
like I wanted to catch up on a TV show. I couldn't even make it.
You're like, what is this? Right. What is this
I
going on?
can't. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And I know you're big into reality TV,
Yes.
like
Yes.
daily and everything too. So, but you said you got your work, you got all these things. So, but it's great to be busy too, in a
Yeah.
way. Because if you wasn't busy, you're like, what am I doing? And then you got
Yeah.
family too. You have family as
Yeah.
well, family and friends.
Yeah.
Social life.
I don't like to just, sit around and do nothing.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but this is, as you always say, like this is such a great platform, and it really is such a supportive community. We all
Mhm,
do the same thing, but we're all different, right? And
mhm.
our shows are not for everybody, and that's fine. And we all support each other, and that's really the best part of it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. You always got my support, and 33 and all the things you guys are doing there, which I love. Shout out to Damien and Jason Fierman, Damien
Yeah.
Adams, my real deal bro, as he said, same name show that we have. And but yeah, shout out to all those guys and all the things you got going on too. The best
Yeah.
of all the things you got as well. So, but let's get into this Giants and Eagles. Yes, Giant and Eagles fans can get along.
Yes.
We do have our friendly banter. We have our rivalry week, as I say. But I can get along with Giants fans. I get along with Washington Commanders fans. Still funny to say Commanders
I know.
as well. So, but let's get into this tie. I know you don't like talking about this.
No.
I heard you all earlier this week on your podcast on the 33, and Damien asked you. You're like, you just went in like, I don't. No, I don't like the way this ended. I don't like the way it was. But the Commanders and Giants played to a tie. There's been speculation that they wanted to tie. I don't know. Maybe the way they were playing, it was almost like they were playing for the tie. But
Right.
from your perspective as a Giants fan, what did you see in this game? It was a pretty ugly game, to say the least.
Yeah, it it really wasn't great.
Yeah.
It really did feel like they were playing for the tie,
Mm,
and I think that's really that's what made me angry, and I think that's what made a lot of the fans angry. Truthfully, the play calling has not been great the past few
mm,
weeks. The game plan's just a little questionable. I know the Giants have had just decimated with injuries. I get it.
right.
I mean, you might have to go out there and play wide receiver. I understand. Like
Yeah.
it's rough. It's slim pickings out there. I get it. My issue was, and this actually goes for both sides, right? I felt like both teams really had ample opportunity to put the game
Yeah.
away at some point
Mhm.
or the other, and they just couldn't do it. Now, as far as the tie goes, why
Why
are
would
there
you want to tie?
ties? It's
Yes.
it's
Yes.
going to bite one of these teams in the ass. It always comes back to haunt you.
Yep.
So it's like, I understand the postseason, there are no ties, but why can't we just do that now? Like,
Yeah.
why, or
Yeah.
add a few more minutes, or it really bothers me. There should be no ties in football.
I 100% agree. There's the ties is like a cop out in a way
Yeah.
because it's going to help one team and it's going to hurt a team. And when there's a tie, it's not even a loss really. Sometimes it helps, because say the Giants win tomorrow,
Mhm.
so now they're 8-4-1, and they're ahead of Washington because they're 7-5-1 right now.
Right.
So that tie might help in a way too, but it's going to hurt someone, like you said. It's going to hurt a team. It's going to help a team. It might hurt both. Neither one might make the playoffs now because of this tie. But it's not a loss, and it's not a loss in the loss column. So, but man, it was such a sloppy game. I caught a lot on the red zone, and then
Yeah.
when they went from the Eagles game, they went right to the Giants and Commanders game. So we're like, okay, I'm intrigued. See what this is. Okay, the Giants are down. They come back. They tie it. They go into overtime. They had opportunities, had a couple of
Yeah.
chances, and it just seemed like you're not gonna go for it on fourth down. Like, what are you
I
playing for?
know. What was that?
Yeah, right. And then you kick a 58-yard field goal.
Yeah.
It was short, and it's like, yeah, I was like, oh my goodness, they're gonna tie. I always say when the other teams play, it's like, I wish they played for a tie, and it
Yeah.
happened.
And it happened. And it happened.
Yes,
That's the thing about a tie. I don't really know how to feel. It
yeah,
felt like a loss, right?
mm,
Because it certainly
yeah,
didn't feel like a win. But I think, again, it was just disappointing because it felt like they were just okay with playing for a tie. And it was
yeah,
like, come on, just go for it. And Graham Gano, like, usually doesn't miss. So it was just, Feliciano with the taunting call, which I know he was doing it to his teammates. But, for me, it's like, I don't want to give the refs any like fuel to the fire, right? Let's not leave anything open for interpretation. And it was unfortunate. They couldn't close it out, and neither team could. So now you just walk away like, meh, I don't know how to feel this week. Do I feel like a loss, a win? Meh,
yeah.
I like a loss.
I remember when the Eagles tied. This was years ago. They tied with, I
Yeah.
think, the Bengals, and And there was another year even before then when McNabb was playing. He was looking like he didn't know the rule. He was like, "Oh, I'll wait for another 10 minutes." I'm like, "Come on, man,
Yes.
it's a tie." Some people don't even know. It's like, but he was ready to play even more. He's like, "Oh, we got 5 more minutes. Let's do it again." Like, nah, you guys are playing for the tie. Like, no, there's like I said, it feels like a loss. So
I
I would,
remember that. I forgot about it, but I remember it now that you said that. That's
yeah,
funny.
yeah. He's like, "Oh yeah, we're playing for we're playing with like the other 10 minutes. I was ready to strap up some more." Like, nah, it's over.
Yeah.
You guys are pathetic. It's over. So, but hey, Giants they go back home.
Yeah.
Were they playing home last week? Were they playing in Jersey last
Yeah.
week?
Yeah. We played
Okay,
home last week.
so
Yeah.
they're staying home
Yeah.
now by 11-1 Eagles.
Yeah.
I gotta throw that in your face a little bit.
Yeah. I know.
But 11-1 Eagles comes to town, and it's still like an NFC East rivalry. Still Eagles Giants. Big game for both teams, really. As we were talking before we start recording, still get a little nervous because the Eagles are playing so well. But okay, when is that? If that next loss comes, is it going to be a divisional game? I hope they're not looking ahead to Dallas in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They got Chicago next week. As of the Giants, got Chicago and then Dallas on Christmas Eve. I know they're waiting for that one, but they got to get past these two teams. So heading into this game, how do you feeling about the Giants playing against the 11-1 Eagles?
Oh God, I'm like nervous. Like I'm sick to my stomach. Like
Yeah.
this is this game, particularly not, when we ever play the Eagles, I just get this knot in my stomach because it's always really bad. Like it's just never great for the Giants. I was at the game last year when it was the home Giants Eagles game, and somehow we pulled that out, and that was great. But it's rare. I think your record is 13-3. The Eagles are against the Giants since 2014. So it's not great. It's really nerve-wracking. The Giants have got to win this game. I think 3 would do it. 3 more wins should get them in, but it's like, okay, you have the Eagles twice, you have the Commanders one more time, you have Minnesota, and you have the Colts. So it's like, it's tough. And I'm nervous because, Jalen Hurts listen, I'm not an Eagles fan, but I'm a fan of what this kid is doing.
Right.
And you guys got massive weapons there on offense. Just getting AJ Brown. It was like, oh my God, really? But shout out to the Eagles organization. I can be objective here because you guys had your down years where it was really bad. And you can tell the organization really committed to building young talent, building through the drafts, getting some great free agency signings, moving on from Carson Wentz, getting Jalen Hurts in here, coaching him up. So I do have to, shout them out. And this is the result of it. So, I mean, I hate it. I of course don't want you guys to have 11 wins, but yeah, I'm definitely nervous going into this game. It's divisional. It's a big rival. These teams don't like each other. The other side of that is you just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you never know. Like I said, NFC East matchup is always tough. And the one loss that the Eagles have is against the Commanders.
Yeah.
And they kind of they try to start a blueprint of how to beat the Eagles. Control the clock, really control the clock, run the football effectively, and, keep that offense, that explosive offense off the field. And that's what they did. That's what Washington did, and commit turnovers. Now, the Eagles going into that game, they only had I think 3 turnovers the whole season. And during that game, and then they had 4. I think they have 4 going in, after that. So Washington played a good game for that. But now the Eagles have righted the ship and kind of just felt like, okay, we're going to be in some dogfights. We're going to be in some blood. They blew out Tennessee last week, which I didn't see coming. I didn't see that. Not that. I predicted the Eagles to win, but it's going to be a close game. Derrick Henry will probably have a big game, but we got to get to Tannehill. They shut both of them down and won big. So now heading to the Giants game, I'm still nervous about if Saquon plays. Yeah. I'm nervous about Saquon now because that's been one of our weaknesses is that run defense. We've gotten talent on that side of the ball, but there's still sometimes big chunks of yards are being funneled that running right through us.
Yeah.
So what do you think the game plan do you think the Giants will have to do? Because like I said, the Eagles can win in a lot of different ways. You talked about the explosive offense with Jalen Hurts. They can run the football. They can run for 300 yards. They can pass for 300 yards. They can do a little bit of everything. And if the Giants get into a shootout with the Eagles, that's what the Eagles, they love that. I think they're second with the most points, averaging the most points, 28. I think it's 28 point something. They're second in the NFL. So they don't mind that either. So, but what do you think the game plan is? Is it to control the clock with Saquon in that run game and the play action?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think so. And try to control Jalen Hurts as much as you can.
Yeah,
I hope Saquon is good to go. Brian Dable said, he's hopeful for him to go. It would be unfortunate if he can't. I would say sometimes the Eagles' corners can get exposed, so
oh yeah,
there's a
yeah,
little bit of that there too. And people don't want to admit it, but Daniel Jones is pretty athletic. He can turn those wheels
yes,
on, and get you a touchdown, get you a couple downs here. So. Um, but I think, yes, absolutely. Control the clock. Let's control it with this run game. Let's get Saquon going. We got Bellinger back now, which was a huge loss for a few weeks there. He's a fantastic blocking tight end. So I think like each week we're getting a couple guys back healthy, a couple guys back healthy. This defense, our defense, they haven't had time to really gel, save for a couple weeks because it's just been
yeah,
a rotation of injuries. So Kayvon back there. We got Aziz coming back. He was back last week. It's just everybody gelling now. So I'm hoping maybe, hey, we get, hot at the right time. But I think, yes, we try. You do not want the Eagles on the field, and you can't start slow against the Eagles. You just can't do it.
yeah. The Eagles have been, this season has been a first half team as
Yeah.
well, but lately they're scoring that well. But the first half they score, especially second quarter, they score a bunch of points. Like there was one stat I read earlier that they have more points in the second quarter than I think the Texans have all season, or Detroit Lions, or
Oh, really?
before Detroit started rolling. They've season just in the second quarter. I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
that's what the Eagles were just they're rolling. And you're right, the Eagles have so many weapons. Like Jalen Hurts, he can beat you with his legs. He can beat you
Yeah.
with his arm. They have the running game. They're finally letting Miles Sanders run the football, which I love seeing that. Get that going, get him going because he is a talented back.
Yeah.
But then you have Devontae Smith, you have AJ Brown. So you got to end up doing this without Goddard.
Yeah.
So they have those weapons, and they're able to score points, or they can, like I said, grind out wins too. They did that against the Colts
Yeah.
just recently. So they when they didn't look good at all. But you brought up another good point about the corners, and sometimes that the corners can get a little. I think when they don't get enough action, they get a little lazy.
Yeah.
But James Bradbury, this is
Yeah.
another storyline going into it.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Bradbury? This is another AJ Brown had his revenge thing last week. Is it going to be Bradbury's revenge game? And I know how
Yeah.
much you did like Bradbury
Oh,
when he was
I did.
there. Revenge game. I mean, do you have anything about that as a narrative for him, or and they said, I want to get this back with the Giants, get it back against the Giants?
Yeah, I feel like they'll tell you publicly, no, it's not, a narrative, but I'm sure somewhere in there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it was sickening. It was like, God, you could have went anywhere. You
anywhere.
have to go to Philly. So I was pretty upset about that because I'm a
Yeah,
big Bradbury fan. But yeah, it's I'm sure it's there, right? And not that he
yeah.
would have any ill will towards the Giants, but it was like, okay, I'm gonna, stick it to you. I'm sure he will. I wouldn't blame him. I probably feel the same way.
Yeah, right. And then you said they say, well, it's
Yeah.
just another game. AJ Brown didn't say that. He said, I want to really. That's why I like AJ Brown. He's like, no, they didn't pay me. They didn't,
Yeah.
my value. They didn't, respect my value. So yeah, I want to, and I think Nick Sirianni and them put a good game plan together to, get AJ Brown going. He caught 2 touchdowns, had over 100 yards,
Yeah.
catching 2. So, I want to talk about a little bit about offensively with the Giants. You said I've been wanting to ask you, since as a Giants fan, I've been talking about this on other shows. Is it Saquon or bust? Is that the way? Do you see that as the Giants moving forward? Because it seems like when Saquon is going, they win. They win a lot of games. But do they rely on Saquon too much? Maybe because of the injuries. Do they trust Daniel Jones to throw the football 30, 40 times? Not usually their game plan. But lately, Saquon hasn't had. He didn't get touches
Yeah.
or they've been ineffective opening holes for him too. So, but what's your take? Is it Saquon or bust for the Giants, or do you believe it's more than that?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a little bit of everything that you touched on,
Okay.
everything you said. I think it's injuries. Of course, that line's been reshuffled. We've had injuries. They
Mhm.
haven't been opening up holes for him. Now, this week it's like his neck was sore. I know there's some speculation that maybe he was dealing with an injury the past few weeks. So I don't want it to be Saquon or or bust, but it does certainly seem like that when he's having a great game, the Giants are winning. But you got to combine that with injuries as well. And
Yeah.
I just think it's a little bit of everything. And the fact that we don't really have A great wide receiving core. We have guys that step up, like Hodgins had a good game last week.
Mm.
Darius Slayton's always good for that big play, but he's the only one that can really open up this offense. I mean, I know you don't want me to rant about Kenny Galladay on here, but I mean,
Yeah,
Jesus, like
yeah,
a
all that
72,
money.
a $72 million man. What are we doing? Like, I just think he's had 4 catches.
Yeah,
4.
that's
So it's like you then, of course, since you can't really get it going, through the air, sometimes you got to rely on Saquon Barkley. You got to rely on Daniel Jones. And we've seen plenty of Giants games where the two of them are just putting this offense on their back and going for it.
yeah.
So yeah, it's concerning because then you worry about, okay, are you overusing Saquon?
Yeah, right. And I think that's what it is. And you said when he came on the injury report, it's like, okay, where's
Yeah.
this coming from? But
Yeah.
I think now it's more of they are maybe overusing him. And, he hasn't played a full season either. So now we're in week 14.
Right.
And maybe he's just thinking like, okay, it's the wear and tear. I haven't played a full season in a couple years because of injury. Then maybe it is that okay. Maybe that's why they've scaled back on using him. But you need him. He's your best weapon,
Yeah.
and besides Daniel Jones using his legs too. So that is one thing I am concerned with this. We've seen Daniel Jones have big games with his legs. I am against the Eagles too. Me not to bring up him falling over his own feet.
He'll never live that down.
No, he was gone, but he can run the football.
Yeah.
And he's not in the Jalen Hurts class of running, but he's an athletic quarterback. So I think that's part of the game plan too. The Eagles gonna have to contain him and maybe try to force him into some of those turnovers, the fumbles or the interceptions. I think that's what the Eagles got to do. They got to put the pressure on Daniel Jones and don't let him get outside the pocket because he is a dangerous player. He can be dangerous when he's outside the pocket.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. And it's nice to see, right? And as much as you guys know, I'm a huge Eli Manning fan, but we
Yeah.
didn't have that for a long time. So like you said, he's no Jalen Hurts. He's not going to go out there and he's no Lamar Jackson either.
Yeah.
But he is athletic, and he has certainly helped this team and this offense. And for the Giants, listen, that front seven, they've got to win. They have got to get home. They have got to get Jalen Hurts. I need Wink to dial all of it up. And for the love of God, if by some miracle, okay, we're in the lead and like we just got a few minutes left and we got to protect the lead. I hate prevent defense. I hate it. Just go. Just stay, keep your foot on the gas and just go. I just hate it because then you end up losing the game.
Yep, because then you're getting chunk play at the chunk play at the chunk play.
Yeah.
And if you said, okay, say the Giants are in the lead, say it's a couple minutes left and it's 23-20 or something like that. And okay, the Eagles get the ball. And then you said the Giants are in a prevent defense. It's like you said, they're gonna take what you give them. Like, okay, we're gonna get 20 yards here. Okay, Quez Watkins over the middle. AJ Brown, here's a run, here's a draw play, here's all these things. Next thing you know, they're at the 10-yard line. It's like, wait, they're in the red zone already? Like, wait. And ready knocking on the door, and you never know what the Eagles are going to dial up because you said they could do a little bit of everything and they can win these games. So yeah, the Giants are going to have to probably get a big lead.
Yes.
And I don't foresee that, but I don't foresee it being like 20-7 or anything like that. But even I think with a lead, the Eagles have proven that they can actually come back even when things are not going their way.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. The Giants have to jump ahead quickly and early. I think for them to have a chance. So let's get your prediction. Like I said, I know you're very objective as an objective fan, and unlike some Cowboys fans and things like that. Yes, I'm throwing shots at Cowboys fans. Yes, I don't. Yes, but what is your prediction and score?
You know what I think is funny in the beginning of the show? You had said that you could get along with Giants fans and Commanders fans. I do love how you left out the Cowboys fans. These are all really tough to get along with, okay?
Some of them are.
The rest of the NFC East, if we can make it work, then you guys should be able to make it work.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the Eagles are going to win. I sincerely hope that I'm wrong this time. But I just, like you said, they have got to. One, the Eagles are more talented. That we can't dispute that. Okay. Like it's an 11-win team. They are definitely more talented. They're playing fast this year. It's not the Eagles of the past where like they would sleepwalk through 3 quarters and then all of a sudden turn it on in the 4th and they're scoring 40 points. Like, where the hell did this come from?
Yeah.
So that's not this Eagles team anymore. So yes, if the Giants can get out to a fast start, they'd have to get a real comfortable lead. But honestly, no lead would be comfortable for me because
Yeah.
I just have flashbacks to the December 19th game I was at when Deshaun Jackson
Oh, yeah.
just
Yeah, the Miracle
ran.
in Meadowlands, yeah.
Yes, I was
Mhm.
like, I was there with my dad, and I was just like, wow, I hate this team. I
Yeah.
hate this team. But I think,
Oh,
listen,
man.
I don't anticipate really crazy scoring. I think you're right in that realm, 23-20, something like that. Maybe
Yeah.
last second field goal does it. Typical NFC East game, maybe a little sloppy from both ends.
Could be.
Um, just because that's just typically how these games go. But yeah, I think the Eagles take this one.
Yeah, I don't think the Eagles are gonna score like they've been
Yeah.
those games. They've scored 38, 35, 40, 35 in a lot of games. So they've been scoring to the average 28 points. Can they get 28? Yeah, I think they could. They think they can move the ball, just anybody, just about, maybe except for San Francisco 49ers defense.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. Oh,
that the way that defense is playing. But other than that, I think the Eagles can move the ball against this Giants defense. And yes, I am concerned with always the run game on the
yeah.
opposite end because that's the Eagles' weakness, still their weakness. Even though they short up that line, I feel like they could still be ran on and everything too. And then Daniel Jones can move with his legs. I think it's going to be something like 27-20, 27-17. The Eagles, I believe they'll do what they need to do or do enough to put the Giants. I think if they get a lead, 14-0, 14-3,
Oh,
then they can say, okay,
yeah.
yes, let's keep it rolling.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be the run game or if it's going to be the pass. I think the Giants could be exposed on both ends,
Mhm.
really.
Yeah.
So maybe this could be a game plan where it's a balance and they run the football. And if they can run the football effectively, then that just saves Jalen Hurts from throwing so much. But then, as you said, Devontae Smith and
Oh,
AJ Brown, and then
yeah.
Quez Watkins, and so I think it's
Too
going to be
much
frustrating.
talent.
It's too much talent. Yeah, it's too much talent. But I think it's going to be a still good game. I don't think it's going to be a 35-10 blowout.
No, I don't think so either. I just the nature of how these two teams play,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
they tend to, when they play each other, they tend to have just each have like one really sloppy game in this
Yes.
series. And
Mhm.
I think that this could be this one where those penalties are just, we're going to trade penalties back and forth and go
Right.
either way. Um, yeah, so let's see. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm
Yeah.
still nervous. I will say
Mhm.
this: the Giants, don't be too discouraged, Giants fans, because this team, they don't have any quit in them, right? And Brian Dable does a really good job of
Yeah.
second half adjustments. So, look out for that. But yeah, unfortunately, I think the Eagles take it.
Yeah, he did, and Brian David deserves a lot of credit. Like
Yeah.
the way he's turned his team around. I remember me and you were talking about doing when we were doing our preview show back in August, and we were talking about, if Dable, you had said that Dable could just, he's a competent coach. Like this guy can, he knows what he's doing, and then he's, his game plans, and like you said, there's no quit, and he believes in this team, and that's all you wanted. That's all I know. You said that's all you wanted was a coach that just is competent, like
Yes.
can coach a
Yes.
football team and
Yes.
and make yourself look like like you said, you went through so many years of
Oh,
just bad football and injuries, and the way he's managed this team with all the injuries, it's I think they will. The Giants have had a great season. They've already had a great season already, so far. So it's been good. They got 7 wins now already,
yeah.
and they're 7-4-1. So
Mm.
I can see, and they're right in the mix. They're ahead of Seattle and Washington in the playoff race right now. So anything can happen in the next 5 weeks. But I think Brian Dable gets a lot of credit. Should deserve a lot of credit.
Yeah, he really does. And listen, whether we make the postseason or not, to go from a 4-win team to a 7-win team, and to see what this team's putting together, and to have a complete culture change. I mean, that's just it's successful season in itself. But the next 5 weeks are going to be interesting. There might be a chance that the NFC East sends all 4.
Yeah, it could be. Yes. Do you believe it's going to be all 4 teams in
No,
the NFC?
no. No, somebody on the outside looking in. No, I don't think
Yeah.
so. But wow, if they do, that would be amazing.
Yeah. So outside of the football, there's breaking news. Nathan says Morocco made history in the World Cup, first
Okay.
African team to make the semifinal. I haven't been paying too much attention to
No.
the World Cup this year. Like the United States, they disappointed as always. The men, that's just they disappointed. Unfortunately, I know they're taking they've been talking about, oh, they got to, the 16. I'm like, no, we want to win. We want to advance. And that team, the World Cup team, just hasn't. The United States men's team hasn't done well at all over the last few times. So, I'm watching it here and there, but not too much. So, but congrats to Morocco making history. So, first African team to make a semifinal. So, definitely. Let's get back to the NFL. What other matchups are you looking forward to this week?
What else we got this week? Oh, we got Ravens Steelers, right?
Yeah, yes.
I do love that one. That's one of the better rivalries. It's like an old school rivalry, right? It's I know it's we don't know if Lamar's playing, right?
I think he's doubtful. Yeah, he's out. Yep.
He's doubtful. All right. Well, it's still a good matchup either way.
Yeah.
Kind of looking forward to Minnesota and the Vikings. I want to see if it's over under hits. It's
what is it? Was it 1.5 before? Or is it 2 now?
2. It's at 2 now. Over under is 52. So I think they're going to go over. I think this is a great fantasy game, Minnesota.
Yeah, totally fantasy game. If you're into fantasy football like we are and betting and gambling, this is the game to get some players. If you're into FanDuel, DraftKings, whatever, betting, GM, and all those things, this is the game because it's going to light up the score because I think both teams are going to just run up and down the field against each other. I got the Lions beating the Vikings though in this game. I like the Lions in this one. So we got to do our picks for work. My wife does her picks for work, and she always says, "Make sure you do these picks for me." So I gotta go look through and say, okay, who's the favorite spot? I picked Detroit over Minnesota in this one, so I like Detroit, but I'm looking forward to that one as well. Let's see what other matchups. 49ers and the Bucks. The way Tom Brady still is. Making comebacks, looking dead in the water for 3 quarters, and then for those last 3 minutes, he's Tom Brady still. I mean, I tell you one thing. I know you as a Giants fan, and he is an Eagles fan. I do not, as bad as they are. I still don't want to see them in the playoffs. I really don't.
No. I don't want to play off Tom Brady. You just can't count him out. This man has seen everything, right? I mean, there's just not a look he hasn't seen. He has experience with everything. I don't want to see playoff Tom Brady. No way. No, thank you. Speaking of, did you watch Baker Mayfield come back? Yeah. Wow. Last 10 seconds. They go like 98 yards in like less than a minute.
Vegas was up by 10, and when I last checked, I'm like, okay, they're up. They're gonna beat them, the Rams. And then next thing you know, Baker Mayfield's on this long 98-yard drive. I'm like, wait, what? And he came into what, second quarter because he was coming off the bench because they couldn't move the football. The Rams just disappointment, and they just came back and like. Wow, that'd be shout out to Baker Mayfield, man. The stuff he's been going through. Yes, I know some of it's his own doing in Cleveland and everything to Carolina. He's been benched. He comes back, he's benched again, then he gets cut. So we'll see. He might be a decent backup.
I almost turned the game off because, like you said, I was like, all right, there's no way. And I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. I'm watching. I'm going, oh my God, like, well, good for him though. It's And then we got Cleveland, Cincinnati. It's another rival game that, looking forward to because I love Joe Burrow.
I know you do. I know you're a big Joe Burrow fan.
Yes.
And they just beat Kansas City last week. They're getting healthy. Jamar Chase is back. I think Mixon's coming back. I think he's back this week. But P. Ryan's been holding it down for them. I'm just thinking because fantasy-wise, I picked up P. Ryan. He's been
damn it. Oh, it was you?
yes. I had him. The funny thing is I had him, and then I cut him because they thought Mixon was playing. And I said, then Mixon wasn't playing. I was like, oh, let me get him quick. Get him back and just start him. So I got him. I got him there. Nathan said Jets and Bills. Yeah, that's all right. Jets already beat the Bills early in the year. The Bills seem like they're getting it back. I like this. I'm like what I'm seeing with Mike White and everything too. But I think the Bills take that. But that's a good game. And the last one I saw, Dolphins and Chargers.
Oh yeah,
LA. Tua and Herbert. Tua versus Herbert. That's a good game too. But other than that, everything of Broncos at Chiefs. Chiefs at Broncos. I mean, what a disappointment that the Broncos have been, and their coach hasn't been fired yet either. I don't go firing people, but man, it's terrible. It's terrible.
No, they're horrible. Yeah, like I had said, like I'm not usually a fan of getting rid of a coach after 1 year because I feel like you need some continuity. But Nathaniel Hackett, like
Yeah, he's
He's gotta go.
terrible. He's got to go, and he's definitely on the hot seat. His butt's burning right now. It's burning over. So he definitely. You got Seahawks and Panthers.
Meh,
Yeah,
meh.
you're right. Cowboys and Texans.
Oh God.
Come on, like Cowboys
Come
just
on.
seem like they're getting these games like. I guess they're winning. They're winning the games that they should.
Yeah.
I mean, there are today. That's a team I can't even front. They're a team that is still scary because they can put up so many
Yeah.
points.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, they just put a 50 on Indy, and
I
so
Thank you. Oh, come on. That's another great fantasy. If you guys got any Cowboys in your lineup or you play
yeah,
daily fantasy, I mean, just go for broke on the Cowboys because Houston, I think they average 11 points in the past 4 games. So, yeah.
yeah, they're not gonna be able to move the ball. And Kyle Allen, I think his point is unless Davis Mills got. I think Davis Mills, but he might be starting. He got benched for one game, and now he's
Yeah.
actually starting. And he just says that Cowboys should win 70-0. I wouldn't
Yeah,
doubt it.
maybe.
It could be an actual beatdown from that game, totally. So, but before I let you go, let's talk fantasy football. We're
Okay.
headed into this playoffs coming up.
Yeah.
It's like you about to get into the playoffs,
Yep.
and I said on our chat, I'm trying to avoid you as much as possible in this playoffs, even though I'm 9-4, trying to play. I'm second right now, trying to keep this bye. But I was like, I gotta avoid Nikki at all costs. At all costs. I don't want to play you at all in these playoffs. But how has your fantasy football season, in our league, how has it gone for you so far?
Yeah, actually, I know because when we play each other, it just doesn't end good for
It
you.
doesn't
It
never.
never
Yeah.
does.
You're
It
like 3-0 against me in the last 2 years. So yeah, you're my kryptonite on
Yes.
this. So
Yeah, but actually, oddly enough, I did not have a great start to the season. Even in our league, wasn't great. And then we're talking about on 3rd and 3, and Damien's like, "Oh, but here comes Nikki. Like she's
Yep.
in the playoffs. Like,
Mhm.
God damn it, like nobody wants to play you because here you go again." So I'm a comeback player of the year for the
You
league.
are.
That's
Mhm.
but it was just a weird
It was a weird
start to
season. Yeah.
the season. It was like just the injuries were happening so quickly,
Yep.
and just tight end position is always tough for me. And then it's just kind of like started streaming tight end position, and that didn't work out sometimes. And I didn't expect Green Bay to kind of suck for the
Yeah, the
beginning
way
of the
they did.
season,
Yeah.
and so that had AJ Dillon. He was just like consistently getting me like 4 or 5 points, and it was just like, oh my god. So not my typical great start, but as long as in our league, I'm there and trying to take everybody down. That's all that matters.
Yeah, right now you're sitting very pretty. I mean, I think all the playoff spots are clinched, no matter what happens this week.
Yeah.
Because I know LaDonna, she didn't have a good year, 5-8,
Yeah.
and then Ruth, this is her first year in our league. She's 4-8-1, and
Yeah.
then you got the 4-9, 3-10. So right now, you're 7-6, you're in fifth. Jason's 6-6-1. He's got the last spot. He got that tie. What is that?
Damn
Tie
tie.
again?
Why are
Yeah.
there ties in fantasy too?
Yeah,
It's like half a
right.
decimal point. Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah. So you got the tie. So he gets in because of the tie because he's a game and a half ahead of LaDonna in our league. Then you got 8-5, and then I'm it's a 3-way tie. Me, Chris, and Damien 9-4. And he's got it because of the points, but I play Chris, who's first. So we're basically playing for first. We're basically playing for first and second right now.
Yeah.
For this week. This is the last week before the playoffs start. So you know me, I'm going to be locked in, get my lineups in. You know how I do. I'm trying to get locked in, and I just want to get a bye. It's like so I can avoid you on top of that. Because if I finish third, but if I drop to fourth, you're going to be there, but you could come up to fourth. So there's a lot of scenarios.
Yeah, it's a lot of scenarios.
Yeah.
It's a great fun league though. We have
It's a
such a
very fun league.
blast.
Love it.
Every year we draft live, we all drink, and by the time we get to, I don't even know, 8th, 9th round, I'm just like, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, who got picked here, who got picked there, right.
Yeah, because so we have to do this manual, everyone. So
Yeah.
but it's a great league. I've had people DM me like, can I get in the Real Deal League? So it's a thing now. I think we're gonna have to start a waiting list. I have to tell Damien, start a waiting list.
Yeah, you might have 2 leagues, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Because we got our exclusive 12.
Yes.
And maybe got to do another league with 12 more
Maybe.
people. And I mean, your team, I really like your team because you guys said Jamar Chase is back.
Yep.
Joe Burrow's been balling
Yep.
lately. You got Saquon.
Yep.
Travis Etienne's been good for you almost all year.
Yeah.
Slow start, but it's been
Yep.
good for you all year. Devonta Smith, up and down, but
Yeah.
Chris Godwin. I mean, your team's pretty good.
Yeah.
Team's pretty good. So yes, I'm avoiding you as much as possible. I don't want to see you. I don't want to see you. Even if you say if you lost, not even that. But if you win, hopefully I had them on seed so you could play someone else.
Yes.
But I gotta avoid you as much. I gotta avoid you. You're the scariest one to me in this league because you have my number, and I can't.
Yes.
Whatever I do, I'd be like, I got the perfect lineup to beat Nikki. I got the perfect lineup to win, and then there's a dud. There's an injury. There's something.
Yes.
But it happens. But it's a fun league. I love it. I really do.
That's the karma for the Eagles having the Giants numbers. So whenever I play you in fantasy, that's just apparently how it goes.
That's how it goes, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, you're right. I start off 5-0 in this league. That I went on I think you beat me. Then I went on a 3-game losing streak. Now I'm back winning again. So hopefully I didn't peak too early. Now I'm peaking at the right time again. So, but it's good. It's a great league. I love it. Love the trash talk. And they said that the draft is always fun.
Yeah,
so the real deal league.
Yeah. And you guys will trash talk. I'm telling everybody, if you don't know what's up in this league, they trash talk all year round. Okay.
Yep,
I mean, Courtney's still mad about last year. He's not talking about it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm avoiding you. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
I don't even want to when you beat me, I'm like, dang, I don't even want to get because I'm always on your show talking in the comments. It's like I'm trying to avoid Nikki for the whole week at the least. Even if the Giants beat the Eagles, I'm trying to avoid you for the whole week. But I can't. I always enjoy talking with you. So it's fun though. I love it. I love the trash talking. Like I said, fantasy playoff start next week.
They do.
So we're in it, and wherever we finish, it's where it has to be. So Nikki, like I said, always enjoy all of you coming on the show. I can't thank you enough, as always, taking from your busy schedule. I know usually you have this day off and be with family, and you say you're doing holiday shopping. You're like, I bought me some things for myself too.
Yeah, I did.
When you put that on, I was like, I've done the same thing. I was at the mall because, like I told you, we're here visiting my mom and my mother-in-law for 2 weeks, and I went to the mall here, my hometown mall, and it's not as big as it used to be. And I was like, I got to do scrimmage shopping, but I kept finding things for myself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then you saw that post. I'm like, I'm getting myself in trouble. Let me not. My wife's gonna kill me if I bring any other clothes back home from this. So but I did buy some stuff. So sorry.
I can't help it. I was just like, I found a dress, and I have a couple work. The holiday events are now. So I'm putting it to use, but I mean, no, did I need it? No, but it was
probably not.
Hold on, my husband's probably watching. It was on sale. I think I got it for I had 40% off my purchase. So, you got to do that sometimes. You just gotta casually take the bags in, put them in the closet.
Yes. Because I'm a big sneaker guy, so I've been just eyeing. I just bought a pair. I've been eyeing another pair. I said I gotta wait till after the holidays to get these pair because I got too many now as it is. That's just boxes just coming and coming, and I'm like, man, it's an addiction. I know, but now we've been getting things for the nieces and nephews and the family and our mothers and things like that. So I said, let me slow down and just gotta get the gifts for the fam. So, but yes, enjoy the holidays. I know we'll be probably talking before and everything, but enjoy it. Good luck with the games and the fantasy and everything you got going on. Best of luck and blessings to you and your family. But I really appreciate you coming on. But let everyone know where they can follow you again at all social media and the podcast and everything else too.
Yeah, no, of course. I always have such a good time coming on your show. And, I say this all the time. You are such a champion for women in sports. And I appreciate that probably more than you realize. So thank you for always pushing for us and championing for us. Cause it's tough, right? It is tough. It's not the easiest thing, but no, I definitely don't mind coming on. I'm kind of procrastinating doing my holiday shopping because I got to finish it up at some point and probably today. I hope so.
Before that rush comes next week.
I know next week's the one I don't want to do. So hopefully today I can wrap it up.
Me too.
But you guys can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at NikkiNick9384. My show schedule is there but Mondays it's Rush Hour. Again, that's a show for the fans. You guys come on. Courtney, you have an open invite whenever you want. Any Monday that you're free. It's at 7:00. We are on from 7 to 8. So vent, celebrate. Tuesday nights is New York Giants Rush. Wednesday, 3rd and 3, and Sunday, Channel Side Bets.
Wow, you just got it. Like I said, I was reading the resume. I was like, I got to get it right. I got to get all her things in order and everything too. And how's the fantasy thing, the challenge that you got with Gladys too? How's that going?
Oh yeah, we're on the trenches. So
Yeah,
the past 2 weeks we've sent a couple people home. So the lowest scores go home, and we're still kicking. We're still holding strong here. So at this point, it's like play for the win. I hope that we make it all the way through. And we got a few more weeks. So fingers crossed that Gladys and I can pull this out.
Pull together. Great fantasy minds. Yes, you guys definitely will be pulling it together. But again, I really appreciate you, Nikki, as always. Always enjoy talking with you. Always enjoy the banter. And just like I said, we just get along so well. Yeah. So I really, really appreciate it. And follow Nikki on everything she got going on each and every day. Like I said, if you want to book her now. Yeah, you got to book her on the day she's got some time and just book her now. But appreciate you, and then I'm sure we'll be talking again probably before the playoffs. I'm sure. So, but thank you again, Nikki. I really appreciate it.
Of course, thank you. All right, bye.
Have a good one. All right, that was Nikki Nick. I really appreciate her. Again, follow her on all social media, podcast platforms. Nikki Nick 9384 on Twitter. Again, Rush Hour on Mondays for the fans. The Giants guys on Tuesday, 33 podcast on Wednesday, Jersey Sporting News. Also, she's there. Again, DM her, Nikki Nick 9384 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook as well. So thanks for everyone that tuned in. Thanks for all the comments. All the comments I know on Spreaker, who's listening there, who's listening on Roku, BS3 TV app. Again, follow the BS3 network. You will not be disappointed at all. We got shows for everything and everybody. We have sports, we have news, we have spirituality shows, we have movie reviews, we have TV review shows. We have, like I said, a little bit of every comedy. So BS3network.com is the network where you can get all the shows. You can get it on BS3TVlive.com as well as BS3TVlive.com. And follow me again at Get the Real Deal. You see it there on the screen there. Courtney Harden on all social media, all podcast platforms. Like I said, Spreaker, Anchor, Google Play, Apple, Spotify, everywhere. The Real Deal with Courtney Harden. It's getting to be the end of the year. I had another great year, and I really, really enjoy. Shout out to all the guests that's been on the show. Can't thank you guys enough, and all the fans and the support that comes on in the comments and on social media who shouts me out. I really, really appreciate it. Without you guys, I cannot do this without you. So again, I can't say that enough. So again, thanks to Nikki Gist for coming on as well. Until next time, probably going to do one more show before the holidays. And so I hope everyone's enjoying their time with family right now in the holiday season. So that's a wrap for the show. Peace. Have a safe weekend, a great weekend. Enjoy the games, and God bless. And shout out to Brittany Griner as well for coming home. And she's home safely. Glad that she got home, being in Russian custody. So again, BG is home. So glad she's safe and home and be with her family. So again, thank you, everyone. God bless. Peace. Till next time.